All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Cultural Awareness, man. Hey, I hope that you guys are all doing well and that great things are happening right now in your life. And thank you for all those that have subscribed to the podcast, man. We are about to do some new and some old for you, you know what I mean? But in the meantime, we have a story of the day that we have to talk about, right? We have the story of the day. And before I get to started with the story of the day, I just want to say this, man. I don't know who is going through struggles out there right now, or who, like, your life is not going well, you lost family member. First of all, my condolences for you, because I know my grandfather just passed away, the last one that we had, and it's kind of difficult right now for me. But at the same time, I also know that people go through struggle out there every day. So to you that is struggling, I just have to say, man, keep your head up. Keep your head up, because great times are coming. Great times are ahead, man. Don't give up. Don't give in, and just keep going out there and keep pushing, right? Because life is 10% what happens to you and 90% what you decide to do about it, right? So please go ahead and decide to do something about your life. Make it better, man. Strive for greatness, like LeBron James always said. And I think everything will be all right. Because I know some people out there have lost a job. Some people out there like me have lost family member, and yet they have to keep grinding, right? So please keep grinding. Do whatever you can to be able to come out on top. That being said, you guys already know the story of the day, right? I mean, not that you know what the story of the day is, but you know what this podcast is all about. It's about culture, right? We talk about different cultures around the world. So that being said, I won't waste too much time. Let's go about the topic of today. So this is the topic of a woman, right? And like I say, and I'm not trying to make you feel like I'm bashing women. So this actually is a woman that is writing to the show. It's actually a woman that is writing to the show complaining about her husband. So what I decided to do is call this woman Mary, right? So that we can go ahead and maybe call her husband, I don't know what, Paul. Let's call him Paul, right? So Mary is complaining that Paul doesn't do anything around the house to help. Paul, whenever, like, she walks and Paul walks, and whenever she comes back home, she will realize that the plate that she left there maybe a day ago is still on the table. Her husband ate and left the plate there or whatever, and she's sick of it, and she's asking, like, how can she convince him to do, because she asked him to go ahead and wash the clothes, and he said no, he's not going to wash the clothes. So she insisted, and he said that if she keep insisting, he would take the clothes to his mother so she can wash it. And the lady was like, what? So she was I don't know, she was really shocked when he said that, and she's not happy that he said that. She said she worked hard, and she worked from, hear this, she worked from 7 to 8 p.m. at night time. 7 to 8 p.m. And of course, we're talking about this happening in an African country. I won't name it, but we're talking about this happening in an African country. So she worked from 7 to 8 p.m. And she doesn't understand why her husband is not helping around the house. She said that he will wear sometimes the same clothes because she didn't wash it. So he will leave his clothes there until she will come and wash it and things like that. And they don't have children yet. And she said she's a newlywed. Yeah, that was the term that she said. She said she's a newlywed. So they just got married, and now these problems are arising. So if you have a comment about what I just said, it's a small story, but it's a big deal, right? If you have any comment, please feel free to leave it out in different podcast venue that we have out there, right? So please don't hesitate to leave comment and write your story here so I can pass it along and see what people say. That being said, let me dive in. Again, when I'm diving into the story, I don't necessarily want to talk about how I feel. I will talk how the elders of Africa, because obviously we live in a culture that has its own rule and how the society perceive or see things. So let's go first on what the elderly woman said. So the elderly woman said that this girl is a disgrace. Oh my God. So that is what they say. Don't kill me. I'm just saying. So the elderly woman said that this girl is a disgrace. She's dirty. And I was like, how come? I don't see where she's dirty. She's complaining that her man is not helping around the house. She said, well, how many times have you seen mothers, and we have seen it here, even here in the US, mother who work hard, they are even single, they have kids, and yet they find a way to clean everything around the house, and they cook, and kids are happy living in the house. So how many times have we seen that, especially for single mother? This woman is a newlywed. Her husband needs her to prove herself. You cannot just come, you just got married before, like, don't ever forget one thing. The problem that you guys have before you got married are going to be the same problem you will have when you are married. Don't ever forget that. They don't just mysteriously disappear. No, you have the same problem. So if before you guys got married, you guys didn't have a set of rules in place, well, when you are married, it's the same thing that will go on. The elderly lady said that this woman is dirty because you would rather sacrifice yourself in the workplace of people that are paying you than sacrificing yourself with your husband. She asked, is the husband giving the money for food and everything? Yes. Is it taking care of the household in terms of buying whatever you need? Yes. So what cost? Why is it so hard for you to come and cook? So she wants her husband to also cook and help with washing the clothes and things like that. And may I remind you that in Africa, in some area, you don't wash it with like machine. You wash it with hand, right? Everything is done by hand in most places. Not everybody has a fancy way of doing it like in a dishwasher, like here in the US or in some European countries. Everything is done by hand. So we are still using hand to wash it and things like that. So how is it, and in our society it's not a good look when your husband, and some women will get ashamed if their husband even try to wash the clothes. So this woman with what they call the new woman with I'm an independent person, she's trying to get her husband to wash the clothes, and the husband's like, no, I'm not going to do that. If it was in Europe maybe, but not here, because here it's all about how the society perceive things, right? So our society perceive a man washing clothes, especially for his woman, as weak and things like that, because there are some things that women do that a man don't do, and there are things that women do that a man do that a woman doesn't do, right? At least in that culture, right? Again, don't judge the culture. Just know that there are cultural differences around the world, right? So, that being said, the elderly lady said that she was dirty, she's a disgrace, that she's out here acting like she's still single. And I was like, how come? She said, yeah, when you are single, it's sweet. You live in your parent house, the guy live in their parent house, or he has his own little place, and you go there from time to her. But it's a different story when you are married. When you are married, there are sacrifices that you have to make the marriage work. There are compromises that you have to make the marriage work. That was first of all what the elderly lady said. Now, the elderly man said this. He said, in our common society, in our modern society, we have a lot of women that dream about marriage rather than living the marriage. Again, we have a lot of women that dream about marriage rather than living the marriage. You are sacrificing from 7 to 8 p.m. at work, and yet you cannot take care of your husband. Like she said herself, so sometimes the plate is on the table. She said, and the man said, normally when a woman cook and her husband comes back in the afternoon, usually how do you guys even have a conversation then? Are you guys only meeting on the weekend? No, that is not how it's supposed to be. Because sometimes when you cook, when your husband come home, even if you're full, you have to at least try to taste the food to be like, oh, how was your day? How did what happened at work and things like that. That is building a chemistry between you guys two as a married and wife. I mean, yeah, as a husband and wife. Not Mary, but Mary was the name that I chose to give. That is giving some type of chemistry between a husband and a wife. That is helping you guys bond together. That is helping you guys understanding each other. That is helping you being compassionate, understanding that my man work hard. And it's good when a man come back at nighttime or from work after working all out there hard out there, and he's greeted at the door by his wife, who decide to, I don't know, sit him down, give him a massage on the feet, rubbing his feet while they are talking about their day. A man that is a provider, a true provider, will appreciate that a lot coming from a woman. A woman that do not have time, or that does not have time to go out there and do the dishes and is asking to split 50-50 with her husband, you won't win. And even if you have to flip to fix a 50-50 rule, there are ways to go about it. Because right now you are in a dictatorship. You want your husband by force to say, yes, this is what I'm going to do, you are going to do that. No, it will never work. Because a man can give you the world as long as you go about it the right way. I talked recently in one of my motivational videos. At every action of a woman, there's a reaction of a man. You come with heart, like you think you are the dude. You come in with like a dude voice, and you come in with that hard voice and be like yelling all over the place, guess what? A man would never listen to you. But if you come with a charm, if you come, you calm, you are seductive, a man is most likely to listen to you. Even if he was mad, I don't know at what level he was mad, he will calm down. Because guess what? A lot of people kill anger with peace. As a woman, you need to know that marriage is not something that you just go out there and start thinking that, okay, I'm going to be the one fixing the 50-50 rule. No. Let that come from a man. A man, if he sees his wife waking up at 4 a.m., cooking, struggling, feeding him, making sure everything is good before she goes to work, and when she come back out from work and everything, and the man see that sacrifice, subconsciously his mind is going to judge him, and he is going to push him to say, oh, I gotta help my wife because I see the struggle she's going through to make sure that I myself, I am okay. That is how it works, not the other way around. You cannot come in a relationship and planning on dictating your rule. You might as well stay single, because that's what single people do. They call themselves independent women. They can do, and they don't need a man. You don't need a man then. Until that time comes when nobody wants you. If you decided that you want to be married, my sister, please, there are things you must do. There are sacrifices you must make. Maybe do your job part-time so you can take care of your relationship. It's called sacrifice. A lot of women would talk about how they sacrifice for their men or things like that. And it was rewarded. Not every time, but most of the time it's rewarded, because you know the struggle that you guys went through to be where you guys are right now. Do not let the hype, do not let the single woman out there say, oh, this is how you're doing it. Your man is treating you like a slave. What do they know about marriage? Because people that are married don't speak like that. There's a language that single people use, and there's a difference with that from a language that married people use. Married people use us. Single people use I. That itself should tell you a lot. And yet they are the same people, the same girl that will come and try to sleep with your husband or try to sleep with your wife, because they want to have what you guys got going on. But if you are in and you keep looking outside as far as what your friends are telling you, you won't be able to have a good relationship. My sister, you need to sacrifice, take care of the household, make sure everything is clean. You are the wife. Make sure you dictate how the relationship is going to go. If you decide to come about it with force, it will not work. But if you come about it with harmony, with peace, with compromises, your husband will see it and he will have no choice. His mind is going to tell him, you know what, my wife is struggling. Any good husband will see that. Even if he's a provider and everything, he will see that and he will come to your rescue. That being said, that was the story of the day, man. So please, if you like this podcast episode, feel free, man, to leave comments and give us a shout out or whatever, IG, whatever. We are on every single podcast venue you can see out there, whether it's Amazon, whether it's Google Podcast, whether it's iTunes Podcast, whether it's iHeartRadio, we are on there. So please feel free to go ahead and listen to our podcast, man. And that being said, God bless. Peace.